The Repair Lot, a one-stop shop where a crack team of experts bring classic cars roaring back to life.
20 years and it's fired up.
Did it then? Hey?
No job is too tough, no car too challenging.
No, I've truly never seen a car like this. It's amazing.
Award-winning motoring journalist Charlie is meeting the owners.
Aaron, welcome to the workshop.
Hello, how are you doing? You all right?
And assessing how to keep their drives alive.
Immediately, that steering column is juddering up and down, isn't it?
Together with old and new school mechanics Derek and Hannah.
Hey.
That's really good, isn't it?
Result.
Yeah.
Freya the trimmer.
Right, that's all the stitching done. I'm really happy with that.
And bodywork specialist Jerry Lee.
It brings the whole car together. It really, really looks nice.
The team are on a mission
Oh, wow, it looks so different.
to put any classic in any condition back on the road.
Absolutely fantastic!
This time, a very special 1920s Bentley graces the workshop.
It's a work of art, isn't it?
Yeah.
Charlie discovers a big issue with the brakes.
That's a seriously heavy car, and if your brakes aren't working, that's not a good thing.
No.
Hannah and Derek battle the Bentley electrics.
Right-hand side?
No.
A Leyland princess joins the automotive royalty in the workshop.
God,
Yeah,
it's
it's
super
like
luxe.
a 70s time warp with its original carpets, the original interior.
But the fairy tale ends under the bonnet.
Converting this car to run from leaded petrol to unleaded petrol is a massive job.
And nerves are shredded on the pristine paintwork.
Well, I'm a bit apprehensive about drilling this car, because this is his pride and joy.
Can the team bring back the beep on the Bentley
No horn.
Oh,
Yeah.
nothing.
and wrestle a result from the princess?
I need just to squeeze that gently round there.
Heading in today is the most amazing car ever to grace the workshop. A rare and valuable 1920s Bentley from the golden era of motoring. This one has been driven by the same family for decades, but recently it's been off the road with major brake and electrical problems. George has grown up with this British-built icon in the garage and hopes one day to take over in the driver's seat. Charlie is here to work out how to get the Bentley back on the road.
Oh, George, nice to meet you.
Hello, good to see you.
Thank you so much for bringing this to the workshop.
No problem.
It's beautiful.
Well, it's been part of the family for quite a while. I'm kind of here representing my family. My dad got hold of it in the 90s, and I've kind of grown up with it ever since. It's a 1927 4.5-litre sports tourer, so started off as a 3-litre, but got rebored in the 90s as a 4.5, which just gives it a bit more power, but it still looks like a 3-litre Bentley. So it's a classic-looking 3-litre Bentley, really.
The face of this car is so distinctive. You know,
Yes.
From the top, you can see the wings. It's got that beautiful grille and these massive headlights.
Yes.
I'm a bit of a magpie, and I've just spotted this really shiny horn on the outside of the car. That's
yeah.
pretty novel, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's the horn. Fortunately, it doesn't work at the moment.
Oh,
Another victim of the
no.
electrical gremlin,
Oh.
so that'd be really nice if we could get that one going.
And these, like, you know, little indicator units, they're really cool.
They were sort of a retrofit to make it more drivable on the road, but that's a little problem we've got at the moment, is that the indicators don't really work very well.
The Bentley has 4 full seats and is designed for long-distance touring, with a hood for those rainy days. It even has a specially built luggage case for your carry-ons.
So what kind of trips have you been doing lately?
Fortunately, not a lot, because we've got a bit of a
Aw.
brake problem.
OK.
As a part, all 2.5 tons of car go through a small steel sort of rod, and we know it's coming towards the end of its life, and we think it's slightly worn.
2.5 tons?
Yes.
That's a seriously heavy car, and if your brakes aren't working,
Yes.
that's not a good thing.
No, that and the lights and everything like that, so we're kind of stuck at the moment.
Is there anything else?
Yes, I have forgotten something. So we have some problems with our starter motor where we get dirt on the inside and it would be difficult to engage. So sometimes if we were to stall at a traffic light, we can't get going again, which is a little bit embarrassing in a car like that. So that does go, apparently, on the starter motor somewhere. So this is for you.
Thank you very much.
We're very grateful if that could be fitted properly.
It's going to be an absolute pleasure to have this car in the workshop. I love the fact that you're going to take on ownership one day and, you know, you're going to create this really cool future for it. So thank you very much for bringing it in, and we will do our best.
Thank you very much. Can't wait to see it.
Sometimes it won't start, it has trouble stopping, and the indicators don't show where it's going. But this beautiful Bentley has massive presence and style. And mechanics Hannah and Derek are a little bit starstruck.
I mean, just,
It's a work of art, isn't it?
yeah. Bentley won Le Mans 5 times in the 1920s. Such a reliable, solid engine. They had something reliable, fast, unique. The whole thing just worked.
But I know when George brought the car in, he said that the brakes weren't very good.
Yeah, not very good at all.
So what I'll do is I'll jump in, press the brake pedal,
And I'll have a nose, see what's happening.
Brilliant.
In this quirky car, Hannah climbs into the driver's seat through the passenger door. Things were different back in the day.
God, how do I get in here?
You okay there? In your step?
Right. God, this is...
That is a squeeze, isn't it?
I can't get my knees under the steering wheel. Right, are you ready?
Yep. Okay, that's, yeah, I can see the arm moving. Yep, everything seems to be connected, but it looks really worn.
That's worrying, Derek.
It should be, all the fixings, Hannah, should be nice and tight. I shouldn't be able to wobble anything about, so, which is actually very dangerous.
It's a really serious problem. It's a mechanical brake system in this, not hydraulic. So we need to make sure that everything is tight on that rod system, and if it isn't, we have the risk of losing the brakes completely.
The way it's working is, if you put your foot on the brake, it could strip the threads and the rod could separate and you would not have any brakes.
That's quite a scary thought, that.
So we need to take this rod off and take it apart and try and make a new one.
The brake rods connect through a threaded adjuster. It's this part they need to take a closer look at.
All right?
Yeah, I am now. So now we've got this out, you can clearly see that this is worn. So as you were pushing down, so the brake pedal will be going that way, in here is threaded. So the threads in here are worn. So as it goes in, it would have stripped with the more pressure you put on it, and then it would just collapse and we wouldn't have had any brakes.
Yeah, so obviously what we're saying is the thread in this tube...
It's had it.
Worn, yeah.
Yeah, and you can see how much movement there is, look.
Yeah.
That is just not
It's not
good.
safe at all, is it?
No.
Derek loves a bit of lathe work, so he decides to machine a new brake rod adjuster from a solid steel bar.
Just need to be nice and careful. Just getting this right. There we go.
Once the lathe has cut the correct hole, Derek needs to create an anti-clockwise thread inside it, using a special tapping tool, so the Bentley brake rod can screw into the new adjuster.
I'm going to do this by hand instead of using the lathe because I can feel it and I'm old school, so what I need to do is just feel this going because I don't want to break this tap because this is the only one. Just put a bit of lube on this. It's not going to get hot, but it's just going to make it go in easier for me.
Derek works the bar until he has the perfect thread.
Nice and stiff, I like that. It's tight, which is how it should be, but also comes out easy.
Happy with the first end, Derek then cuts the bar to the correct size and machines out the other end. He then taps a clockwise thread ahead of a test with the original Bentley brake rod ends.
Right, now's the good bit, see if it fits. That's good. And now what I've got to do is clean this up and paint it.
day, and the newly built and painted brake rod adjuster is ready for a test fit.
Right. Now, it's got to go up through there. So how are you there?
Yeah.
I'll adjust it, shall I?
Yep.
Try that, Hannah, see how you get on. How does that feel?
Yeah, the pedal feels good. Yeah, that's a lot better. I'm getting like a bite on it now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
OK, then let me do a little bit more adjustment and then give me some feedback, see how it goes.
OK.
Try that.
Yeah, your hands away.
Clear, clear.
Yeah, that's really good there, actually, Derek. The pedal feels a lot more confident. I think, yeah, lock it off, and we're good to go. Everything feels so much tighter. And with just small little adjustments now. So again, it's like its bite's really nice as well. So we've got that precision engineering back that Bentley always intended the car to have.
Job done.
Excellent, yeah, great job.
The brake mechanism will need a full test drive and setup. But now, the team are moving on to the next job. George and his family have had struggles with the Bentley's electrics.
Headlights.
So Hannah and Derek are doing a full check.
Indicators, left-hand indicator.
Yep, that works.
Right-hand indicator.
Turning every dial.
Yep.
And pushing every button.
No horn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing. You were
Silent.
excited about that, weren't you?
I was, yeah. It's a good-looking horn, that is, but it's silent at the moment, so that's
Okay,
one of the problems.
That's one job. Indicator, left-hand side.
Yep, all there.
Right-hand side.
No. So we've obviously got two electrical issues with this car. We've got the driver's rear indicator doesn't work.
Yep.
And then also the horn doesn't work.
Yeah.
At the repair lot, Derek and Hannah are dealing with a couple of shocking electrical issues. First place to check for faults is the fuse box. A fuse is designed to break if there's a power surge. The idea is it blows and is easy to replace, stopping damage to a more expensive part.
Well, I've just got the fuse cover off, and what we have is 4 fuses. Well, I've also got 2 spares as well, which is really handy. But just looking at them, we have got one that's broken.
You sure it's broken?
Yeah, so these fuses have actually got like a glass cylinder that goes over it, and you can see really clearly that it's broken, which is really good.
The car has spare fuses, so Hannah can check if that works as a fix.
Right, let's pop this new one in. Well, I think we're ready to give it a try.
Turn the power on. OK, here we go. Fingers crossed. You ready?
Yep.
Hey!
Oh, my God.
I could do this all day.
That's a brilliant sound, isn't it?
The rear indicator is next on the electrical list. It was fitted long after the Bentley was made and is quite exposed on the back of the car.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Can you see that?
Yeah. The bulb isn't blown at all,
No.
is it? So it's
Okay.
not a bulb issue.
So they decide to check the wiring.
Ah, there you go. So it's that. There. So I'll just loosen that off. So it's either that earth, yeah. So we need to clean all this up because that obviously has either had a coat of paint or something in the past.
Yeah.
I'll get a little file.
Yeah,
We'll
rub it
just
down.
clean that off, shall we?
Yep.
A coat of paint was blocking the clean earth to the metal bracket. But once that is filed away, they'll be ready for another test.
Hey, that's the electric sorted. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, all done. Good job.
You could say I've seen the light.
Driving towards the workshop today is a very rare motor. A British Leyland Princess, the height of 70s chic. Nicknamed the Wedge, this love-it-or-loathe-it design has always been a head-turner. Owner Alan has loved this model since his teenage years and has got it back to almost showroom condition. Now he wants the workshop to help him future-proof the Princess.
Alan, nice to meet you.
Hi.
Thanks for coming down to the workshop.
You're welcome. Hi.
Cool. This is a very cool-looking car. Quite a rare breed, I think.
Yeah, it's a Leyland Princess from 1978, 2200 HLS.
And the colour is absolutely amazing. It really pops out, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's, this is the anorak in me. It's Reynard bronze metallic with a tobacco vinyl roof and sorrel velour interior. It's typical 70s.
70s is a good era. God,
Yeah, it's like
luxe.
70s time warp with its original carpets, the original interior.
What's this little bag that you've got on the back seat?
That's my little picnic hamper. It's got a little flask with a couple of cups that you would have in the day if you're going out for your picnic in the 70s.
Alan bought this classic because it brought back happy memories of his own childhood in the family Princess. And the car is a massive part of his current life.
I'm actually one of the area organisers for the Gay Classic Car Group. We're a national club. We've got international members as well, over 1,500 members throughout the country. I love organising events and bringing people together.
That's what it's about, isn't it?
Absolutely. The fun side of it, and that's what we try and do.
The Princess looks in great nick with its sparkly paint, but it's a different tale under the bonnet.
Obviously, when the car was designed and the engine was built, it was built to run on 4-star, which you can't buy anymore. So I have to use a lead replacement additive, which I have to put in every time I put fuel in the car. And so I'd like the head converted so that it would run on unleaded. As in, because the cars are so rare, it would future-proof the car.
Converting this car to run from leaded petrol to unleaded petrol is a massive job. It's not just a case of changing a few pipes, changing the fuel tank and a couple of pumps. There's a lot involved in that. So, before you hand over the keys, is there anything else I should know about?
So for whenever I go to a show, people always point out the fact that this car should have chrome wheel arch trims on it, because being the HLS, that's what it had when it came out of the factory. I believe when it was restored 15 or so years ago, the chap didn't put them back on because he didn't want to drill through the bodywork, because obviously then you're into rust and all the rest of it. However, it really annoys me because it doesn't matter how many shows you go to, you can always bet someone will come over and point it out to you. In an ideal world, it would be great if it came back with chrome wheel arch trims on it, and then it can shut everyone up, basically.
I think I found a kindred spirit with Alan. He has a thing for the underdogs of the motoring world that really resonates with me, so I can't wait to help him.
Charlie loves it, but it's mechanic Hannah who's going to have to take a shine to the wedge if the Princess is going to get the happy ending it deserves. It's straight into the workshop to upgrade this out-of-date, lead-guzzling 70s engine. But the Princess doesn't sound too happy about it.
No? Bit strange.
Now, for me to be able to get to the parts that I need to take off a lot of the ancillary items. So a lot of the pipes are going to have to come off. I'm going to have to drain the water. All the spark plugs and leads are going to have to all be taken off. So there's a lot to do on this car for me to be able to take the head off, which is this part here of the engine, and then get that off and get it sorted.
The lead in leaded petrol protects parts of the engine, increasing power and fuel efficiency. Running unleaded without a special additive will eventually cause major damage. To upgrade the engine, Hannah needs to remove the cylinder head and send it away to be machined and remade with strengthened parts. But the head is deep in the engine, and the strip down takes all morning. Hannah needs help with the heavy head. Derek's always happy to get his hands oily.
So it's pretty much loose. I need to get it around the chain.
45 years or so since it was first fitted, the cylinder head is off and on the bench.
Well, it's overdue. My work's done here.
Yeah, thank you so much for your help.
Cheers.
But Hannah's got a lot more graft ahead of her.
There's still some parts I need to remove around the head, but first thing I need to do is remove this old oil in here. So I'm going to use this syringe to take it out and then put it into a waste oil unit where it can be recycled.
Hannah's been tearing down engines for years. She's keeping a track of where everything goes in her own head as she strips the cylinder head down.
So this is basically what all the work has been all about. Here we've got the valves, so we've got 2 in each cylinder, and what you have is an inlet and an exhaust valve. What happens is these are pushed down, so the inlet valve allows air and fuel into the engine, and then once that's been ignited, then the exhaust valve opens and then lets the exhaust fumes out. So they're really important that they work properly. But this is going away to have a conversion. So to make sure that it can run on unleaded fuel, what they're going to do is remove these valves, and where the valves seat onto here, they're actually going to take those out and replace them with more modern materials so that this engine can handle the new unleaded fuel. That's going to take about 2 weeks.
Fingers crossed that when the upgraded head comes back, the wedge will be in good shape. Till then, the princess is parked. At the repair lot, Hannah is back on the Bentley. The huge engine has trouble turning over if dirt gets into the starter motor. Hannah's trying to fit the protective cover that was handed over by owner George. But she needs to drill some locator holes, using a bit of cardboard as a template.
So the starter motor already has pre-drilled holes on it, but to get those exactly right on this cover, what I need to do is take this template over there and then find where the holes are. Now I'm going to do this by pushing this onto the surface of the starter motor and then using a nail to find the holes on it. Once I've done that, I'll then come back here, put it up against the cover and then mark and then drill those holes out.
This is the kind of bespoke work a Bentley needs.
So, got one there. Doing this a bit blind. Right, so I can't find any other holes, but we've got the 2 fixings, and that will be a really strong fixing for that cover to hold onto the starter motor. So I'm going to offer this up to the cover and then drill these holes out.
Once Hannah's marked the location for the new holes, the cover needs to be locked into place while she drills them. So it's over to the bench and the clamp. It's cast iron, so she's using strengthened drill bits to cut through.
Yep, that looks good.
Once again, Hannah's wrestling in the dark.
This is the last one, all been tightened up. All done. That's all tightened there. Looks really good, and that will now protect that starter motor.
Today, automobilia expert Abby is welcoming Jane and her perky Fiat from the 60s. She needs the help of the workshop to restore a rare photo linked to a love of this unusual 6-seater load lugger.
Hi, Jane. Hi. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Hi, Vicky. Lovely to meet you.
So this is Mario.
This is Mario.
Wow. He is a treat, isn't he? So this is the Fiat Multipla.
It is. It's a Fiat 600D Multipla, which means a slightly later model, so it had a 750 engine, all that extra speed.
Love it.
And it's 1962.
Can we have a look inside?
Of course you can, yes.
I've never seen one of these in the metal, because they're quite rare, aren't they?
With lots of room in the back, and just like a modern MPV, all the seats fold flat into the floor, or you can pop up these 2 little extra seats, so you can get 6 adults in the whole car.
But it's not Mario that we're here to talk about today, is it? You've brought something
It
for
isn't,
me.
no.
Can I have a
I've got
look?
something for you, Ivor.
Thank you.
Sit out.
wow.
a photograph. This is a special-bodied multipler with lots of extras, a sort of teak interior that looks very yachty.
Very bougie.
It is indeed. And this one was, the bodywork was done by Pininfarina.
I can see that it does have some damage. How did that come about?
Well, this picture's been framed on my kitchen wall for a number of years. And unfortunately, in November 2020, at about 7 in the morning, a hot water tank, which was immediately above that bit of wall, decided to split. And we didn't wake up for about 45 minutes. So it put 900 litres of water through the ceiling. And unfortunately, the pictures were on the wall, sort of directly underneath it. And unfortunately, they dried while still in the frame, so hence they're stuck to the glass.
Well, hopefully, I'm sure we can get this back, looking to its former glory, and then it can have pride of place in the new kitchen.
In the new kitchen?
Yes! I'm excited. It'll look good.
It will.
It will.
This isn't an everyday request. Photo restoration requires specific skills and tools. It's going to take a bit of research before the restoration can begin. Abby's been investigating how to restore the rare water-damaged photo. And the trail has led to East London and Graham, an art restorer and conservator.
Hi, Graham.
Hi, Abigail. Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Is this the photo?
It is.
Yep, yep, come with me. We've done things like the Magna Carta many years ago.
Wow.
On its 800th anniversary. Wow. I mean, we work on really anything from 11th century right through to contemporary Banksy, Picasso, all that sort of thing. So it's very varied, but flood damage, especially when they're stuck to glass, is another level of worry for a conservator.
More of a worry than handling the Magna Carta? Not a simple fix then, this little photo.
Safety first.
Yep. So get the ruler.
Graham gets his gloves, because the first step is to remove a large section of glass so he can get better access to the stuck section with his scalpel.
And then that comes away.
Oh, wow.
So far, so good. But it's only now that Graham can really see what he's dealing with.
So what I'm going to do is get the scalpel underneath the edge between the glass and the emulsion. It's like being a surgeon, really. You've got to be incredibly careful about it's not enjoying it. Yeah, I think this area definitely will be the hardest part, and the emulsion, I think, will come off on the glass because we had that hairline split around that edge there. So that means it is really firmly attached.
A section on the surface of the photo is stuck to the glass. He's going to have to cut it off. Then, Graham's got a plan for this tiny white piece.
So what will happen if you can't remove that part with the scalpel?
You just have to pull it off. That's as far as we can go on this, but now we'll go over to the sink and then try and get that off with the edge of a scalpel later and then reattach it to that area.
To the bath we go.
For photo owner Jane, this is a treasured possession, so saving the tiny original fragment is important. Graham hopes it will float off in the warm bath.
OK, so now we use the scalpel to scrape. Just see if it holds it, scrape the emulsion off. And it's coming, you see.
Yeah, I can see.
And there we go, it's free.
Fantastic.
Let the gluing begin.
So it's a lot easier, really, using a scalpel on something like this, because you want to just tease that down in place.
The save is a success.
I mean, generally it looks a lot better.
It does. From what it was to what it is now, it's come a long way.
The photo needs to be pressed overnight to flatten and dry it out. But it will be ready for Jane's kitchen wall soon.
I think Jane's going to be really happy with that.
The icing on the cake.
Back at the workshop, and there's an unusual final touch to be done on the glorious Bentley. George has sent over a flying bee bonnet mascot to be fitted to the car.
Just fits just right. A Bentley birdie.
A final polish, and the Bentley looks beautiful.
Awesome. Job done.
The Bentley is almost 100 years old. Hannah and Derek were determined to get it in tip-top shape for its centenary. Problems with the brakes drove it off the road. The electrics were unreliable and it had starting issues too. It took a lot of old-school skill to bring the Bentley back to life, and George has returned to collect the car with high hopes it'll be road-ready.
Hi, George.
Hello. Hello, Charlie. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. How have you been?
Yeah, good. Looking forward to seeing the car.
So if it's OK with you, I'd like you to help me take the cover off. That'd be super handy.
Oh, it's very shiny.
Looking good, isn't it?
Very nice, very nice. Wow. I can't get over how shiny it is, actually. Brilliant.
So the electrics. Hannah and Derek, they've been from front to back, all through the electric systems to kind of find out what was going on. And one of the biggest problems they found was with this rear indicator light unit. It wasn't working.
Really?
But it does now.
Brilliant, thank you very much. That's a massive job.
Now, I believe the car horn also wasn't working when you dropped it off.
Very disappointing, because it has a nice noise.
Do you want to have a go?
Absolutely.
God.
It's definitely louder, isn't it? It's brilliant, yeah.
It's quite a delightful little, isn't it?
That's pleasant, polite, I think, polite.
Derek and Hannah have absolutely loved working on this car. They've used all their heritage skills. Derek's even been on the lathe, which he absolutely loved doing, so it's kind of brought everything together that we represent. Hannah and Derek have worked really hard on the braking system because it is obviously super important. And that brake rod, there was a lot of play in it, which meant that you just couldn't rely on it when you pushed your foot on that pedal. What they've done is they've created a new component which allows you to adjust the pressure on that brake rod and gives you that reliability so that when you do step on that pedal, it stops.
That's brilliant, thank you. Because without that, we couldn't drive the car. So now that one thing alone means that we can now take it and we have confidence that when we stop. Of course, braking is a not-negotiable factor when it comes to driving, so thank you very much for doing that. It's brilliant. I think the danger is if you've got a car that's stuck in a garage and you can't quite use it, is over the years it will deteriorate and you run the risk of never driving it again. But now, you take it out, share it with as many people as possible. I can start to look after it more and more now, take on more responsibility with it in the years to come, drive it more and more, and it will live on through our family now.
It's been an absolute privilege.
No problem. I'm very, very grateful for the work you've done on it. I remember it for a long time because it's now good to go. Thank you very much.
It'll be another year before George can drive the car, but it's now fit for a new life with this young driver behind the wheel.
I really like the fact that George wants to share this car with other people, so if you ever see him out and about, give him a little wave.
It's reveal day at the repair lot. Jane returns to the workshop to collect her favourite photo.
Hi, Jane.
Hello. Nice to see you.
And see if Abby has managed to turn back the tide on the water-damaged surface.
And on the face of it, it may have looked like a simple job, but it wasn't. It was really, really difficult and quite a mission. Hope she likes it. Are you excited, Jane?
I am very excited. Been looking forward to seeing this.
Me too.
Wow, that looks a lot better.
Doesn't it?
It does. I think it probably looks better than it looked pre-kitchen flood.
What we've had to do is quite a lot of work. We had to take it to a specialist And this man is the guy that worked on the Magna Carta. So he's pretty up there when it comes to expertise in conservation and restoration of photos and things like that. And as you can see, this bit that was stuck to the glass, he's fully removed it. And that process took a long time.
Wow, it certainly looks a lot better.
Doesn't
and it's
it?
going to look fab on the kitchen wall.
From washed-up memento to pride of place in Jane's home, this restored photo is fabulous. Back with the Princess, and finally the cylinder head has returned from being upgraded to run on unleaded fuel, a specialist engineering job.
So from the underneath, they've machined all this surface, so this will sit nicely onto the block. Also, we have new valves and new seats, which allows this car to run from the leaded fuel it did before, but now it's unleaded, which makes it a lot more usable.
It's vital that this new head seals 100% cleanly, so Hannah removes the old head gasket. It'll need a new one. And then she cleans the surface of the block. Derek's on hand to help refit the head.
That looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's really nice, isn't it?
Yeah. She needs some
Muscle.
muscle power.
I do, yeah.
I'll phone someone, shall I?
Do you know someone?
There we go. It is heavy, isn't it?
It is.
Happy. I'm just going to go down like so.
Yep.
My fingers.
Yeah, don't
Okay.
Yep, looks good.
I think that is looking smart.
The vital upgraded cylinder head is in place and looking perfect on the Princess.
So that's the biggest thing now sorted. This car will be able to run on unleaded fuel. I mean, there's still a lot to do, putting the engine back together, but it's great that that's all located on and ready to go.
Be a brilliant job. Yeah.
The Princess is still missing a bit of sparkle. Owner Alan has supplied some period-correct factory chrome wheel arch trims that he'd love to see on the car.
So what I'm going to do first of all, I think I'm going to put masking tape all the way around here, so when I'm putting anything on and off and the markings are not on the paintwork.
It's a nerve-wracking job putting holes into a car with immaculate paintwork. Derek needs to drill the holes so the supports can push through and be secured. They're connected to the trim by a channel on the back of each one.
And we've got a little clip that's here, so that sits in the channel. The great thing about this channel is I can slide it wherever I want them to support the trim. So if there's a tight bend, I can put it right by the bend and hold it nice and tight against the car. So it's a really simple idea, but quite effective.
The challenge is to make it fit snugly without drilling too many holes.
That is where there's a bend, so that'll pull that tight. That is where it starts to kink round, so that'll keep that tight. And then I'm going to put another one there. I can then take those measurements to the other side and do them exactly the same. I want to make it look like we've put it on from factory. So, to use the old expression, measure twice, cut once. In my case, measure twice, drill once.
And after one final check, Derek is as ready as he'll ever be.
So I've got all the measurements done, all the marks, I'm all ready to go. But I'm a bit apprehensive about drilling this car, because this is his pride and joy. Right, here we go. Softly, softly.
He's committed now, and there's no turning back.
But what I want to do now is I just want to touch up the holes, just with a little bit of paint to seal it, because of the bare metal.
Rust is always a potential issue on a 70s classic. So Derek is desperate not to let the tin worm in. Then it's the big moment.
So we've got all our bits in place. Let's get down here and that one on. So you just literally get them in position, push them in, and then put the plastic clip on the back.
Well, it's supposed to be that simple, but there's a massive amount of fiddling.
This one's just got bent in the past, so I need just to squeeze that gently round there.
Fettling and fixing.
Just going over all of these just to make sure I've got them all nice and tight to belt and braces.
Until finally...
Very pleased with that.
At last, the princess has its shine back. It's all about those curves. The princess wasn't looking at its best when it arrived. The wheel arches should have shone with chrome, but they were decidedly drab. Under the bonnet, the aged engine was stuck in the 20th century, needing to move with the times to run on unleaded fuel. Hannah and Derek have worked their magic, and owner Alan is hoping his princess will reign again after a regal reboot.
Alan, hey. How you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Welcome back to the workshop.
Thank you.
I think you're ready, aren't you? So
I'm
going to go for it.
Bit nervous, but quite excited.
Don't hold back.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. Fantastic. Thank you to Derek for that, because that just finishes the car off.
Yeah, nice finishing touch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Under the bonnet was the toughest task the team faced. Will Alan clock the changes?
Wow, that's very clean.
Well, it looks the same, but I can guarantee a lot of work has been done to convert this. And the car now runs on unleaded petrol rather than leaded petrol.
Marvellous.
Is that going to make a big difference to you now that you're able to use it with unleaded?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's just going to future-proof it so it can be driven for many more years to come, because I've got no intentions of getting rid of it at all. Thank you so much to you and all the team for doing that. It's just incredible.
So the princess is reborn. Car show royalty ready to roll.
It's brilliant to be behind the wheel again. It actually feels so much more responsive than it did before. It's just going to make a huge difference not having to put additive in it all the time, not having to worry, have you got additive, do I need to go and buy some? You can literally just go and put super unleaded in it and then off you go. People will be going, oh, that's really nice, you know, it's quite a nice, presentable princess. And as you say, there's not many left on the road now, so it's, you know, it's taking it back to how it came out of the factory.